Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for our national anthem.
Good morning, race fans, and welcome to Today at the Races at Pimlico Racecourse on Belmont Stakes Day. I'm Tim Tulloch, joined by the man with the morning line, Keith Fusel.
How you doing?
Keith, it's turned into a nice day.
Yes.
The breeze is blowing. It's going to be a little warm,
Uh-huh.
but the big thing is we're back on the grass.
We're back on the grass. Yeah, it looks like the turf course is going to be firm to get us going. The main track is fast, but Belmont Day 2021, so we got that to look forward to later in the day, and we've got the Rainbow Pick Six as everybody is chasing, so sometimes maybe a little bit futilely chasing, but yeah, chasing that Pick Six. But yeah, beautiful day. A little muggy right now, but we'll take, I think temperature's getting up
It
close
is
to
summertime.
90. Yes.
You know how Maryland goes. It goes from, late winter to summer.
That's it.
Exactly
There's
what it did last week. We're in the 40s and 50s, and now it's going to be in the low 90s, but we'll get to that in a minute. A couple things going on today. As we mentioned, Belmont Stakes here today. First bet, an express bet, updated Belmont Stakes wagering guide. You can download that right now and get your wagers in on a first bet. They have all the information you need. But look, the big news of the day is simply the carryover in the Rainbow Pick Six. That has a carryover of $915,457 to get started in race 3 this afternoon, Keith. And yes, I'm going to chase it again.
Yeah, you have to. You got to give it a shot. Yesterday, I think they bet close to $70,000 into it. Paid $4,326 when it was all said and done. Some interesting horses early in the card, and things kind of leveled off, got kind of obvious late, but still a very good payout, all things considered.
Yeah, that was a $4,000.
Yeah,
that's a losing ticket, more or less. That's not a bad day. A bad day at the office at all. As we mentioned, the conditions here at Old Hilltop are pretty nice. It's going to be a little warm, Keith, but a nice breeze. The turf looks great.
Absolutely. Turf greening back up a little bit. Had some rain in the area, so we're here a little bit longer. So the turf course taking a little bit more work, but we're going to be fast and firm today.
This is a really, really good, old, established course. You walk out on it, it's nice. The grass is nice and long.
Yep.
The way I like turf to be. I don't like those putting green turf courses we see out west and sometimes down south. Grass should be long and fold over underneath horses' hooves, and that's exactly what Pimlico does. Let's get started, Keith. We have a lot to do. We'll start with race 1. Race 1 does kick off the early pick 5, 50-cent minimum, 12% takeout. Races 1 through 5, mandatory payout. You'll want to get involved in the early pick 5. Race 1 is for fillies and mares, a wide open $8,000 claiming event going a mile and a 16th. And Keith, you have the 4 yesterday's planned on top.
I do.
Sheldon Russell gets the call. Getting some relief here this afternoon. Recent races have been okay, is capable of better, but must show up with that.
Yeah, I want to see a little bit more speed with this mare today. She's finding herself a little further back in races. Got going too late last time behind Hide and Seek Kelly. Part of the entry that was scratched today, so the plain one Lake Chico is going to stay in. A little drop in class. I think third off a little bit of a break. It's a more sustainable run, and hopefully Sheldon can get her into the game a little quicker, hopefully be within a couple lengths by the quarter pole and wear down the speeds. I got a little stat, kind of a negative stat on this one. The favorite, Jamie Ness, he's been going great guns the last couple of months, but when you're going to deal with a horse that's going to be even money 4 to 5, sure, maybe say, okay, I'm going to go elsewhere. Last 3 years on the dirt, he's only 1 for 9, 4 for 9 in the money. Allowance to claiming and for horses running for less than 10,000. You've got that situation today, so
yes,
really not showing much resistance in those 2 most recent races, and the fractions last time a little quick, but I expected a little bit more out of this one, dropping back to 8,000 a day. May go coast to coast, but I got to try to beat it with a little better price. And introspection is a user for me as well.
Yeah, down toward the inside introspection. Getting back here to Laurel for Mikey Gorman. Going back to Lake Chicago. Look, before the break, this mare was running. This filly was running quite well. Maybe it's just third off the layoff. But how about Jamie Ness? What a year he's having.
Yeah.
He's already won 109 races.
Wow.
He's winning at 28%. And we talk a lot about Claudio, but how about Ness? Ness is red hot all up and down the East Coast. Race 1-4-2 for Keith, 1-4 for myself. As we move to race 2, race 2 kicks off the early pick 4. Keith, you put together a ticket for us.
Yes.
Let's check out how you played it.
There it is, a $32 ticket. A little costly, but I think there's some value involved here. Some really interesting races today. Not the biggest of fields, but some, I think, contentious fields. 1, 2, 4, 5 to get you started. Push to start. 10 to 1 morning line. Going to come down off of that with a couple scratches in race 2. We're going to take out the 6 going to the lead and the 7 Dr. K. But we'll key on the 1 in there. But go 1, 2, 4, 5. 2 deep in race number 3 with the 1 and the 4. They're your obvious favorites. Both going to be short prices. Race 4, we spread back out again with the 2, 5, 8, and 9. Your price user in there, Mikey's Jewel. And maybe Tough But Fair. And race 5, we'll let back down just the 2 horses in there with the 4 and the 7. So $32 ticket. I can see some prices coming along.
I think some decent prices will come along. Race 3 scares me to death. By the way, we'll get to that in a moment. Race 2 is for 3-year-olds up, which started for a claiming price of $25,000 or less, optional $32,000 claiming price. Going 5/8 of a mile on the grass. Keith, you have the 1 push to start on top, 10 to 1 on the line. This is a gelding that I did not get to, making his second start of his career on the turf and second off a layoff.
Yeah, he's very quick. And he was thrown to the wolves last time out in the turf sprint. I like the fact that Carrasco stays. Damon's going to give him another shot. Can the man, the stallion, is 19% on the turf, bottom side. The mare was like 10 for 20 in the money. This horse is quick. Showed a little speed in that last race. Got off a step slow. Rushed up. It was tough to tell by the video because we had the tent kind of interfering, but it looked like he got in a little bit of a jackpot going towards the turn and really wasn't just, kind of protected from there. I think he comes back in the right spot here. They're going to give him another shot on turf. He is very fast. If he breaks clean and goes clear, I think he's gone in here. Has a tendency to drift. They put the blinkers on a couple races ago, and he got it done on the dirt. So I'm going to take him right back. One more shot with push to start.
Going to have to get away from that inside draw. I have the 5 Zenpai on top. I like this horse this afternoon by Great Notion out of a Polish numbers mare. This one's cut out to get the grass, run on the grass. Lone turf try was before Dale Capuano, or like I like to say, BC. Okay. And this one is in good recent form with ascending numbers.
Yeah, and those prior races were without Lasix, without blinkers, and we've seen the improvement this horse has made in the Dale Capuano barn. I did not expect that effort last time. That was lights out the way he kind of stalked and just went clear and was dead firm to the wire. I think a lot of plays going to come in on the 4 by the Seashore, dropping off of a break. You see numbers hedging up in the lower 80s. That's going to win this race if he can come back to that. So let's see. Protected off the layoff as well here for Trombetta. We have a video.
The two Gins and Tins for Mikey Gorham. second off of a layoff, and a little video right here.
Yeah, the 6-horse that particular afternoon gets kind of squeezed, bounced around, jostled, put in tight. This race was for 16, 3 in life. Christmas in the City was DQ'd after that race for an overage. Gins and Tins, though, closed up quite well. We're going to see this horse when we get it back. Hopefully we'll see that from the top of the stretch home. You see for the far, far outside, fanned about 6, maybe even 7 wide, turning for home. Yeah, way out there. And, he was coming off of routes, but I certainly think he's capable of sprinting a couple wins at this distance. He's got plenty of speed to target. There's a lot of speed signed on for the second race. I know I need push to start to carry it, but I think he's going to pick up some pieces in here as well. So Gorham is good off the claim. Not a terrible big jump up in class when you look at it. He was competitive down for 25 down south.
28%. Mikey Gorham off the claim, and Charlie Marquez gets the call as we move to race 3. Race 3 kicks off the Rainbow Pick 6. Let's take another look at that carryover, fellas. $915,457 is the carryover into today's race, Rainbow Pick 6, which gets started in race 3. I have a ticket for the Rainbow Pick 6, and when I look at race 3, Keith, I think Lost in Space.
Okay.
Danger. I went all originally in this race.
All right.
But I had to cut somewhere, so I used everybody but the one horse that I thought could not win, and that is the 3. I think this is a very dangerous race because I just think it's wide open. Anyone can win this race.
Yeah, I lean the chalk in here, but Beanie showed a little bit more life last time. But brief reaction, you left out a Frock.
I left out a Frock. It broke my heart. Let me tell you, I left out a Frock at Pimlico, a horse that's been beaten double digits every single time. Watch this horse win.
Yep.
This race scares me. I go 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. In race 4, I use the 2, the 5, and the 6. The 6 is my best bet of the day, and that is Mikado for Cal Lynch. Race 5, I single. This is the only single I could feel confident in all day. That's Danola for the Red Hot Anthony Aguirre, who's having himself a nice year in race 5. Race 6, 2, 7, 8. Race 7, I use the 1, 4, and 5, and I finish it out in race 8 using the 4, 6, and 7. $81 ticket. A little bit more money than I typically spend, but look,
when you're dealing with $1 million to target 81,
you got to invest a little. Let's get started with race 3. As I mentioned, this is a maiden 10 going 3/4 of a mile. Fillies and mares 3, 4, and 5-year-olds. We're going to start with the 1, your top pick, America's Woman, and we're going to start with a video from May 29th.
Yeah, this horse kind of a free fall now, 40 to 25 to 16, but definite excuse last time out. May the 29th here at Pimlico, a sloppy sealed surface. Came away a step slow, just slightly to the inside in a big kind of a big field there, 10 horses. But watch this run. It was trying to make up some ground, but caught extremely wide. 5 deep into the turn, might even be about 6 wide when it was all said and done into that turn. It just couldn't sustain. Does some chasing till about the 3/8 pole and steadily fades. A quick drop, a quick turnaround. But the 2-back race on a fast track, that wins it. This horse was up close to a pretty quick pace and just didn't quite fire through. No horses like that in this field. I'm going to give the edge to America's Woman here for Donnie Barr.
Yeah, that race 2-back certainly does get it done, but certainly doing some Tom Petty here, free fall. And as you mentioned, the 4 even money on the line. My top pick, draw a line through that last race on the turf. Look, I look at this horse and, maybe America's Woman, as you pointed out, that race 2-back is pretty good. But I look at this horse and I look at this race and I think, look, it's today or possibly never for Written by the Stars.
Possibly. Shortening up a 1:16 2-back on the dirt was okay. A 32-buyer 3-back. So 32-buyer, you're thinking, man, this horse has got to be a price. Not against this group. Going to draw a lot of play. Needs to bring a little bit more finish. Should stay within range. But I'm thinking if America's Woman breaks sharply, she's going to get put right into the race, and I think she can hang on. 1, 4, 5, 2 for me. Let's go to the 4th.
Let's go to the 4th. Watch the 3rd, though.
Yes.
It could go any different direction. Race 4 kicks off the Super High 5. No carryover from yesterday. Any race with 7 or more runners, Super High 5 wagering is available. It also kicks off the late pick 5 in race 4. No carryover from yesterday, but always well bet and certainly worth getting involved in. We're going to start with this Fillies and Mares 3 and up, never win 2, going a mile and 16th on the grass. We're going to start with your top pick.
Okay.
A horse that I did not get to. That's a 9, Tough But Fair for Claudio Gonzalez, making her turf debut. Close enough. Violence out of an exchange rate mare.
Yeah.
It could work.
Yeah, Violence is about 12% on the turf. The bottom side, the mare was stakes placed on the grass. I just think she can get the distance. A mile and 16th, I look at some of these horses, they don't want to follow through at a mile, or are they going to keep going at a mile and 16th? She's a filly that won her debut back at 2, going a route of ground. She closed up on the dirt, her most recent start for 20, a little drop. I'm just banking on the breeding to get her over the top here, because I certainly think she can get the distance, as opposed to some of these horses that are going to take plenty of play.
Yeah, my reservations are about Tough Affair, and you certainly don't say this very often, is Claudio Gonzalez.
Yeah.
His turf runners just don't excel like his main track runners do, and his numbers reflect that, so I stayed away, but certainly a good enough argument there.
Yeah.
I go with the 6, Mankato for Cal Lynch. Came back off a little bit of a layoff in her last start. We have a video of that race from May 22nd.
There it is. We're going to pick this one up. Yeah, just tracking to the inside and gets a pretty good trip just off the pace. She works out a trip, eases out, clear sailing here to the quarter pole. Going to go up and engage the leader, but Mikado going to get in a little bit of traffic coming to the 8th pole. We're going to see this horse highlighted, the 4-horse. Thanks, guys. That particular afternoon, see the leader kind of drift in, a little steady, be determined. Was taken down out of that race. Mikado still trying, though. Gives way a little bit late. Again, though, she looks like a little bit of a horse that's tough to ride. You see some of the comments, edgy, pulling, steady. She finds a little trouble in her races, a little difficult to get the rate and settle. She's got to settle and finish at a mile and 16, because I think she's going to have to make a run into Bourbon Gal, who's going to have tactical speed in her own right. It's going to be tough second off the layoff.
Yeah, and the best thing to happen to Mikado was she got caught for second.
Yeah,
because she kept this condition. Gets to run.
Yep. Good point.
Gets to run in this now. Where's a 2 once again? Yeah, Bourbon Gal down toward the inside. This will be second off a layoff. A nice return in her last start behind the next out winner in Rockstar Gal.
I liked her in that spot. She got a little weary late. I was a little upset with that. But another one. That last 16th is questionable. She's going to have to make moves, and she's going to probably find herself in a little battle with Mikado, I think, in this stretch. Rockstar Girl, though, came back to win, ran a 63 paired up number, so that bodes well for Bourbon Gal. I think another one that kind of might fall through the cracks is the 8. Danger Zone. Went back and watched. Just a little trouble early, drafted way back, and the rider kind of just sat there relaxed and came on late. I know you see the late comments, some late interest. That's a wake-up call. The fairgrounds races work. Look at that 2-back race. Produced a couple of winners. Della Frost, the second-place finisher, come back to run a 67 buyer, a 63 buyer. That kind of number will win this race, so don't leave her out. I'll go 9, 8, 2, 5, and Mikey's Jewel with some late run.
Mikey's Jewel. I like Mikey's Jewel a bit here today. We both do. Trouble first time on the turf. I expected that one to improve this afternoon. Mikey Jewel 8-1. Going back to Danger Zone, this is just a favorable level. I mean, she broke her maiden for that maiden 30 at the fairgrounds, and then for 2 for 16. This is the right spot to be very, very dangerous here in race 4. We're going to have to take a little break. When we come back, we'll talk about the late pick 4.
And they're off. She's second in the 2-path. Ground on her inside. Race. A quarter of a mile to go, and he's 6 on top. It's last of the 12 as they roll into the backstretch.
Welcome back to Today at the Races. Keith Fustel, Tim Tulloch, race 5. Fillies and Mares 3 and up, which have never won 3, or Fillies 3-year-olds going a mile and a 16th. We'll get started with your top pick.
Okay.
The 4, Marvelous for John Salzman Jr. Blinkers go on and gets back to the main track.
Yeah, second time back against older horses. This is a little bit of a reach maybe for me, 7-2 on a line, but the numbers kind of work. Back out to a route of ground, the blinkers go on. I'm just hoping this horse can kind of chase the pace and maybe separate from Ortanola. The problem with Ortanola, she's 2 for 30. but she may have just fallen into the absolute perfect spot today. So a little reach here maybe with Marvelous, but you go back. I mean, way back, 53 with the blinkers that day. The blinkers are suddenly back on. So Barnes been doing well.
John,
had a good
Junior's
year.
been doing, is having a nice year. My top pick, Ortnola, 8-5 on the line. By the numbers, you're right. Should win this race. Stretches back out. Anthony, about 18%. I just look at in any recent race going short or long, she should win this race. She is my single. I am going to need her in my Rainbow pick 6, but we see it pretty similarly to 6. Some interest there. And Flying It, who's looking for 3 in a row, but goes to a new barn.
Yeah, jumped up and ran a much improved race off the break. Haven't seen any work since then. So, is she going to be able to kind of pair up that kind of race? I'm not so sure.
Coming back in just over 30 days and no work. As we move to race 6, this is a maiden 40 event going 5/8 of a mile on the turf. The 7 is your top pick, Mr. J. McKay for Cal Lynch, is a first-time starter, been working very forwardly at Delaware Park.
Yeah, and if I had to go back and do the line over again, I think I would have made this horse the morning line favorite, and I was right. This horse is a fool to Miss J. McKay, who would have been a multiple stakes winner, was unfortunately taken down in the Colleen Stakes at 2. She loved the turf, and this one here working well. I'm just going to ride the breeding here, right back in Cal. No stranger of getting a firster to the winner's circle.
No, not at all. Always well prepared for Cal Lynch. Going to have to get away and go from there. I have the 2, Prince Perry on top before Ann Merriman. We have a video from her race last September. This was his debut race here last September at Pimlico.
At Pimlico, and this horse bet down to 5-1 that day. And Merriman's horses, first time out, it's you usually kind of wait and see approach. This horse took lots of action. The family, there's turf there, and this horse really didn't disappoint at all. Just gets beat. Going to swing out to the outside. Was about 3 wide on the turn. Makes a run. Just looks like gets a short lead here inside the 16th pole. Just not quite good enough. Tried it long, good try. He ran well there. Now a freshening, back to the sprint. I expect another similar race as that debut, which was going to certainly put him into the mix against this group.
And I like what they did. I think they tried to keep him ticking over for the winter, so he'd come back in the spring of fit horse. They tried 3 times. He didn't run terrible on the dirt, but then they dropped back and punted. Now they bring him back in fresh. Sheldon Russell gets the call on Prince Perry as we move to race 7. This is a first level allowance race going a mile and a 16th for 3-year-old fillies. And Keith, you have the 4 Vegas weekend on top. So do I. This one's shipping in from Gulfstream Park off a good looking effort in her last start on May 2nd and has been working very well at Keeneland.
Yeah, I like the little improvement, Last time, off the claim, that second place finisher came back to run a 75 behind a horse by the name of Hybrid Eclipse. We've seen run around here and be competitive. I'm just taking the fact that this horse is going to be able to kind of stalk the speed because there is some speed. Some of it comes out with Mitt Mazel, but Taylor's Chrome wants to be close. So does Moon Safe. Vegas weekend will be just perfectly positioned, I think, just off of those 2 down the backside. I'm going to have to make that knockout punch move around the 3/8. But I tell you, don't leave out the 3. Proper Storm. Did we have a video of that one?
We do have a video. This is from our May 20th race, and we picked this up on mid-turn. This was a big race.
Just showing the finish. Kevin Gomez, very patient with this runner in its second career start, was down towards the inside, is going to work a trip and get out to about 5-6 wide, top of the stretch. But look at this run this filly makes. She ran a good run sprinting in debut. I think she's got the bottom. She's got a pace. I would have loved to see Mitt Mazel stay in her as well. But look at this run through the final 1/8 of a mile. Switched over that 8th lead just past the 8th pole. Watch when she levels off. She was motoring. Trust me. Through the binoculars, it was very impressive when I was doing the stretch call there. And going away, reaching. I don't leave her out. They think she's good enough back on the dirt. I'm going to roll with her, too, in my exactas.
That's a question. Getting back to the dirt, turning back to a mile and a 16th, certainly got plenty to run at that day, which is amazing when they went to a 115 and then 141 for the mile, and she still came with that type of finish. Going back to the 4 Vegas weekend, this is a filly who really simply at the end of the day hasn't run a bad race. She got beat 8 lengths first time out of the box while running 7th and hasn't been off the board Since then, the third place, getting beat 11 lengths, 3 starts back, was just okay, but shows up every single time. The 5, Moon Safe. Not sure what to think about this one. The turf, okay, forget about that. Got dragged along in the Weber City miss.
Yeah.
And best race on the slop. So
I struggle with this morning line. I could be This was a really difficult race. I called my man Vinny Brun to go through it, and he says, "Hey, we're close enough." I think so. This is a tough race.
Yep.
Really couldn't nail down the favorite. You look at
what
Moon
about
Safe.
the one, Taylor's Chrome?
Yeah.
I mean, this is a horse who's getting back going long again for Claudio. Didn't sprint well. Couple work sense, but this one has the numbers going right aground that win this race.
Yeah, no doubt. She buried Moonsafe a few races back. Alara when breaking the maiden, but going back to Moonsafe, I think she's going to take play off of that Weber City kind of. Was it a slightly inflated number, as you say? Was maybe drugged to
Miss
that?
Leslie came
We're
back
not
and got
sure.
her head caved in.
And she looked gone too. Moonsafe. She was traveling quite well coming to the 8th pole and just couldn't hold on late. Yeah, dealing with a horse like Taylor's Chrome, who could be right up there with her on the lead. I don't know if they hold on. I lean a little bit more towards Taylor's Chrome, as you do, than Moonsafe. So 4-3-1-5 for me.
Interesting race.
In a good little competitive race. Yep.
No doubt about that. The finale is on the grass, going 5/8 of a mile. A $16,000 claimer. 4 3-year-olds and up, which have not won 3 races or straight 3-year-olds. We're going to start with the 6, so dialed in. For Ferris Allen, Horacio Caramanos gets the call. And this race we're about to watch from May 20th was his turf debut.
Broke my heart and my pocketbook this afternoon as I needed Mosby's Ranger for
And you
Susan.
looked good there for a little bit.
I did. Mosby's Ranger was battling on between horses. But I'd say, so dialed in, took to the turf, was traveling, very easily. You see the short comp in hand, angled 4 wide. I mean, was comfortably off of a contested pace and runs, kind of straight and true, and was going to wear down Mosby's Ranger, who had to do the tough work, was caught in between. But I like the way this horse just sustained. Good time, finishing time, 57-3 comparatively to Christmas in the City, 58-1. Now the Buyers are quite different, but the rail was both out 20 feet on both of their races, the 6 and the 7. I come back to the 6, 7-horse DQ'd out of that most recent race.
Yeah, and coming right back at the same level. Didn't get silly. Came right back at this $16,000 level. I have the 4 Dragon Moon on top. This is my price play of the day. 7-2 on the line. Basically his best races win this race if he can come back with the same type of race off this little bit of a layoff. He's a player if he's ready. Kevin Gomez gets the call. That's going to do our 8-race card. Remember, Rainbow Pick 6 gets started in race 3. We're going to talk about that again in one moment. But, Keith, it's time to move to the lightning round here this afternoon. And we're going to start the lightning round with Claudio Gonzalez and Completed Pass. Now, Completed Pass is running in the Grade 1 Jaipur this afternoon at Belmont Park. This is his win in the King T Leatherberry in his last start, or 2 starts ago in the King T Leatherberry. That was on April 24th. Good-looking win as he drives to the wire here.
Yeah, that was a good-looking win. He came away cleanly that afternoon, and then unfortunately came back in the turf sprint off slowly. An issue that he's dealt with in the past. But man, did he run well! You see the comment, used 5 wide. He used 5 wide into contention and still kept grinding. My concern is just the 6 furlongs, and with these is a really talented group. He's talented. He's a horse that took play into Pure Sensation in a Grade 3. Pure Sensation on his best can run with these horses. So
he's coming out of a race. I mean, he didn't get away well, and that's been an issue with him. They took some time with him from September of 2019 to June of 2020 to get this one to break better, and he did. When he came back, he broke pretty well, except for a couple races, including his most recent. Now, keep in mind, his most recent race, that was a new course record set by Firecrow that day. 55-1. The former course record, I know this for sure because it was held by Forrest Yankee Wildcat, a horse that I trained. 55-1, just a little bit slower when we got down to the nitty gritty. But that was a very, very fast race. the 3/4 might work for him if he gets away decently.
Mm-hmm.
He always comes with a little bit of a finish, but we certainly wish Claudio
Yeah.
good luck this afternoon. Angel Cruz goes up there to take the call.
What are your thoughts? And you said, I think looking at the race, and I didn't really dig into it, but I mean he's got some speed, and he could find himself with a clean break on the lead or just off of it, and he's going to fight it out. But shipping to a different track, having the gate issues, a different gate crew. How do you see that as a trainer?
Well,
I mean,
certainly. Well, look. And maybe I'm biased. When you're going from one of the best gate crews in America to another venue, that's always an issue if you have a horse with gate issues. Plus, they don't know the horse as well. Now, the starters are pretty good about sharing notes, and they keep notes, and they look at notes, and they compare notes. So hopefully that won't be an issue. But no question about it. You're dead on right. I mean, the gate could be a big issue, and certainly plenty of concern. But completed pass, just a good hard trying horse, winner of 9 races, 408,000. So maybe he can get it done today for Claudio Gonzalez and Angel Cruz. It is Belmont Stakes Day, so we need to talk about the Belmont Stakes, Keith. And you and I both went back. We couldn't help ourselves.
Okay.
I just,
I just punishment, I guess.
Rock Your World, just like that girlfriend you just keep going back to.
Yeah.
I went back to Rock Your World after having, even though you might know better.
Yeah.
I
don't tell my wife I'm still going back to her.
No. You're stuck, dude. You're done.
I know. I'm done.
She knows you're kidding.
Yeah.
The rest of the world doesn't. But
right.
She's kidding. Look, for me, Rock Your World is best suited to get the 1.25 miles.
Yeah.
A 1.5 miles. I think you draw a line through the Derby. I think he can come out, he can control the pace, and that's why I pick him on top once again.
Yeah, and does he necessarily need it? I don't know, because breeding-wise, he certainly should really thrive, I think, into this thing. The flow shouldn't be terrible. He just got to come away cleanly. Looks like he's training well. They want to make amends for that unfortunate Churchill Downs race there.
Yeah, and even if he doesn't, I mean, the Belmont Stakes traditionally is on the lead or close. I mean, that's just the way it is. You'll get a horse from time to time that comes way off of it, but usually probably not the deepest field when they do it.
Right.
But Rock Your World, I agree. I mean, even if a couple of these other horses like Essential Quality or Hot Rod Charlie down toward the inside decide they want to be part of the early pace, he can stay out in the clear.
Yeah.
Get himself a good trip. We both have the two very similar. Essential Quality in our exacta. The distance was a question for me going into the Derby. It remains a question going to the 1.5 mile Belmont, and I don't like that hung comment in the Derby where he looked like he had every opportunity to get the job done.
Yeah, but he did a lot of work to get position as well. He found himself in a little bit of trouble early, bounced around at the start. He was a little keen, kind of getting position. I love the effort that he brought to the wire. Yeah, it was a little bit of a hang, but I think his speed, his positional, the speed is going to work to his advantage here today. I think he's a stayer against this group. I'll round it out. Hot Rod Charlie, you've got kind of the musical jockeys.
Yep.
Pratt going back. His horse keeps getting better and better and better. Wouldn't surprise me. And Known Agenda, another one. Talk about trips in the Derby, stuck down inside, just never got it going. The blinkers, he improved dramatically with the blinkers. Pletcher, no stranger to getting it done. I'm just not sure of who we beat down in Florida.
Right. Rumbauer, I'm going to give some love to Rumbauer, our Preakness winner. I thought that was a big race. He got a nice pace to run into at the Preakness, and he might get that again today. I do have distance questions about Rumbauer getting the 1.5 miles. I kind of like it 20-1 to the outside. Okay. I have the 8 Overtook for Todd Pletcher. Blinkers go on. This is a horse of the two horses that are really cut out to get the 1.5 miles. It's one Rock Your World, who we have on top, and the 8 Overtook for Todd Pletcher by Curlin out of that AP Indy mare. By the numbers, by the results, maybe not, but this would be second off of a layoff, and a horse that should be cut out to get the 1.5 miles.
Yep. So sometimes you just got to lean on that breeding, getting that distance. It's not a horse to maybe get the exacta, but your tries and supers could certainly boost that because he's going to be a big price.
He will be a big price. It will be exciting. A big card here at Pimlico, but also a nice card at Belmont Park this afternoon. They always put on a very, very nice card, as we do at Preakness, and Derby does at Derby. So we have to give kudos to all three racing associations who do a good job putting on these big days. Our big day might be today for somebody, a big carryover in the Rainbow Pick 6. Get started in race 3, 915,000 plus. That's going to go well over $1 million. Can guarantee that. I have a nice $81 ticket. You can find all our tickets if you go to Pimlico.com and go to the handicapping section, and you'll see all our tickets. Keith's Early Pick 4 ticket, my Rainbow Pick 6 ticket, and all the information you need. Remember, go to First Bet if you want to get some wagering and open up your account there. That's going to do it for us, Keith. A nice day here for racing. We've got Dave Rodman coming up next with Scratches and Changes.
Good luck.